Welcome to
Why are you looking at Mike?
Fortuitous Time. Well, I'm not going to look at the camera.
Yes, the camera is here so that we can
I
acknowledge
can't
it.
even see. That's so awkward. Well, I'm looking at you. I'm having a conversation with you guys. The listeners are a fly on the wall. Welcome to Fortuitous Time with Modern Wild.
Wild.
The knowledge and benefit podcast recorded for your benefit.
You're not going to get much benefit out of this.
My
Or
name
knowledge.
is Garrett.
I'm Mike.
I'm Dan.
And he's Ben, and this is the podcast. It's starting now.
To my left is one of my closest friends, Michael the Mike, the sad boy, Jay Britton. Thank you.
He's wearing all black because it's a hard day.
It's a hard day.
He's
To
quite
my
awful.
right is one of my closest friends, Danny the. Well, people call him Dan Pruitt.
Danny, the people call him Dan.
In front of me, I'm staring down the barrel of one of my closest friends.
Which part is my barrel?
We got Garrett Jackman.
Hi.
And
One of
me,
my close
your favorite. Just kidding. You probably hate me by the end of this.
So we got a couple of segments that we're going to do. This is kind of a test run, so all of you fantastic listeners, just kind of stick with us. This first segment is, just bear with
Fucking hang in there.
Yeah, hang in there, okay? This first segment is called Gripe or Grope, and if you gripe something, you may not be too fond of it. If you grope it, you really like it a lot, I hope. Otherwise, you got some other kind of mental issues you probably got to deal with, but that's not for this podcast. That's for some other podcast. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a gripe that I have, and that's the elderly.
Right? Like, why are they always going off and dying?
The dying is the best thing they do. I'm not a fan of the elderly.
What specific is it? The smell? Is it the
Yes,
look?
yes.
Is it the taste of the elderly?
Especially that.
It's kind of an all of the above anything you could name about the elderly.
Tastes like blue cheese and butterscotch candy.
Have you ever been in
Every
an old...
damn one of them.
I'm sure everybody's been in an old folks home, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
Everyone.
depressing.
Yep.
It smells like shit.
Awful.
Not just shit. It smells like bad food and shit.
And then cleaner, but then more shit.
And then everybody's like, "Are you my son?"
No.
No,
No, Grandma.
damn it, Grandma! I told you I'm not my son.
I'm not my own son either.
your son?
Okay, here's a few things that really bother me about the elderly. When they drive, it's like, oh my Lord, are you, like, I don't know if cars only went 18 miles an hour back in the 20s.
Well, they had to crank them by hand.
Yeah, so, when they drive, it's just, oh my God, it's so awful.
I have memories of being in the car with my grandparents, and it was the same. A car that my mother had driven right before, and I know it went faster. It wasn't. That was never the question.
I like screaming at people in the car. You witnessed that this weekend. We were just out at a festival, and we had to drive up there. He saw me screaming. Old people are like almost the number one offender for me screaming.
Can I
in the
contest?
car.
Yes,
Can I
please
contest?
dissent, please.
Are you about to grope old people?
I'm about to grope.
Yeah, you must
specific-
state explicitly that you grope old people.
I'm going to grope my paternal grandfather's driving.
You saved it there at the end.
I only drove in a car, I don't know, 3 times. And I remember one of them specifically, and it's when I went camping with him the only time. And we were driving down the highway, we pulled off, we got KFC like you do.
Of course.
And then
Camping.
got back on the highway, we're eating the KFC, we're having a good time. We pull off onto the mountain road.
Next thing I know, where am I?
Next thing, he's not my
And
grandpa.
We're
I
going
got
up
in the wrong car. at the
Grandpa,
KFC.
that doesn't go there.
We're going up
Next,
the
I'm groping
twisty,
my grandpa.
windy mountain road. There is a sheer rock face on one side, a 1,000-mile drop on the other.
Safe.
This is a less than 1-lane road, and my grandfather says to me, he says,
My fingers are too greasy to drive.
All this damn KFC.
he says, turn around and open the cooler behind you. And I did. And he said, grab me 2 of those Coors Light, please. Fucking
Was
popped.
one for you?
No.
I was gonna say, that is
For him while
adorable.
he's driving up this motherfucking... I'm 5. And I'm abating a felony. My grandfather's drinking and driving up a 1-lane mountain road. We got there safely and watched Pirates of the Caribbean on his portable DVD player.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, but you think that's an argument in favor of old people driving?
Yeah.
No, I just had a really cool grandpa.
Okay, yeah, your grandpa's okay. Elderly people in general.
I had
Yeah,
a
no,
cool
fuck
grandpa too.
Me too.
Yeah.
I just don't like.
two of
I don't
My
like.
elderly are cool. No
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
everyone
I
else
don't
is
like.
bad.
I don't like other people's grandpas.
Another
Other people's grandpas.
Boo.
Boo.
Ooh.
Yeah, Dan, fuck your grandpa.
But unless he's
Fuck your
yours
grandpa.
and you're you, then
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Another reason that I just can't stand old people, they're also cranky. And it's like just because you've fucking been around since Nazareth doesn't mean that you can you call all the shots. Like I get it, you're old and you were only 180 when JFK was assassinated, but that doesn't give you the right to like fucking run over my shoe with a shopping cart, you old fucking bag. You know what I mean? Like,
Or like when you're in checkout, they're always the rudest in checkout. I always feel like almost the need to apologize after standing an old person in line at like Safeway or something.
Oh,
just like
yeah.
I'm sorry about that person. I don't know who they are. I'm sorry.
yeah, absolutely.
Don't worry, they're gonna die soon.
Yeah,
Move it along.
There's a lot of gropes.
But the driving is the worst part because
Yes.
it makes sense that old people move, like when they're walking, they move slower. But the action it takes to make a car go faster is about an inch of one
toe.
Yeah. So it's like their ankle actually moves as slow as they walk.
Well, they're looking for the steam levers. They're like, how do I activate this?
Where's my driving?
I haven't fed
Shot
enough
first.
coal into my
I haven't
furnace.
driven a car since the steam train.
Yeah, so maybe the consensus that we come to is old people suck unless they're your old people.
Yeah. So we both
The more you know.
grope and gripe old people. I think is the
Yeah.
I grew up old people.
Yeah. Does anybody else have a specific grope or gripe? I've got a few if nobody else does. This
Yeah,
is
hit us.
riveting.
Hit us.
Riveting. Okay.
well, we're thinking.
Okay.
We're thinking. They're thinking.
we can
Send a comment.
Phone lines are open.
let's go with, and I'm not even gonna say how I feel about it. I want to know what you guys think. This isn't about me.
Ooh.
Convertibles.
Nope.
How do you gripe?
Gripe.
No,
Or grope?
nope, I'm not touching that.
Nope.
Nope, you're not. Nope to grope or
No, he's not.
I
He's
am-
staying away from the subject. It's a sore
it's
subject. with him.
that's a hot button issue.
I am nope to grope on convertible.
I have one gripe and one grope. I've only been in two in my life.
one for each car.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
My first one was my buddy in high school. His mom, she had a sky blue Volkswagen Beetle convertible, and that was the most embarrassing car to be seen in.
Right. Get in,
On the
bitch. We're
planet.
going shopping.
Yeah.
I would drive that.
I wouldn't.
So is your gripe that there's some cars it just does not belong?
Yes.
on?
So my gripe is that car should not ever have even been a convertible. My second one was when we all lived together in Lafayette. Brian was babysitting or house sitting for that woman that was like out of town on vacation for like a week, and I don't remember what car it was, but it was red and it was a convertible, and he drove it to the Lafayette house, and I was the only one home, and he I knew he was on his way, but he honked, and I look at the window, and he's just like a mid '80s action movie, like like waiting for me to like
Tom
hop
Selleck?
over the door. Yeah, and it had a CD player, but it was mid '80s, and he didn't know how to eject it. And the CD that was in there was the best of Toto, which he was fine with. But we would just cruise the neighborhood in that red convertible and blast Africa, and I don't remember what else was on that CD, but
Africa Part 2.
Oh, it's the woman's name? What's the song?
I was gonna say Roxanne, but that's
No, it's not Roxanne.
Rosanna.
Rosanna, yeah.
Just the whole CD was great, but so
But just
that convertible
those
was
two songs.
I got a
Yeah.
gripe with Rosanna. I don't grope that song.
so. I have a gripe with the first one. Grope.
But
Hard grope,
as a
Brian's
general
Africa.
concept, I mean, you got to pick a lane.
I'll grope them.
No pun
Because there's some
intended. Come on,
there's-
guys.
There's some cars that like convertible of that car is like got to be so fun to ride around in, especially hard tops.
I was going to say hard top or soft top.
Hardtop, for sure. I mean, if you're going to choose one, it's hard.
But then you can't do it while you're driving.
You can't do it while you're driving regardless.
You can't.
No, you can't.
Michael, I know you said you weren't gonna, but you have to, or else you're fired.
He said nope to grope.
I'm firmly against them for the pure reason that it's just another moving part that will break on my car, and I don't want to replace it.
Fair enough. What if you're just a passenger? What if you're just like, hey, dude, let's hit the beach.
Get in.
And then it's so windy. I don't like the wind. It's
Yeah.
right there. And
I'm not
I
a
got
fan
the
of
hair.
that.
True. But there's
you guys
some
don't have
cars-
the hair. I have the hair, and it goes into my eyeball and then down my. I get deep throated by my own hair in a convertible, and I don't like it.
It's not even about how long. I mean, even if you have short hair,
Imagine seeing someone driving and choking on their own hair.
even if you have short hair,
look cool?
it still fucks your hair up. Like regardless, you're driving the top down, you better have a hat on
Yeah.
because your hair is going to get
Or no
fucked.
hair at all.
Or no
I'm
hair at all.
streamlined for convertible
Well, you got
use.
you got a hat on and no hair, so you're ready.
I'm double ready.
You're ready
and,
for the convertible.
And get this, I still have a gripe.
You still have a gripe.
Yeah, no, I hate the wind too. It's just
there
like
are some cars that it work on though.
yeah, some, but it's like if you're going, if you have to go on the freeway at all, and you're like, oh fuck, I got the top down. Like I don't want to do this. It's hot and
loud.
and loud. What? Toto's blaring. I don't want to.
All the time.
You can't change it.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. Like it looks cool, like you said, like looking out your window and like your bud's waiting with a cool six pack.
It's very circumstantial.
You're like, hop in. We're about to go fucking.
We're about to go cruise
Hit the town.
I have a gripe.
with convertibles or
A
something
separate
else.
one.
I also have a
I'm ready.
separate
I'm ready to move on. If
Yeah,
you guys are, convertibles suck. Go ahead.
Would you like to go first, or may I interject mine?
Somebody's just got to go for it.
I fucking gripe the shit out of loud stuff.
Yeah.
Yes,
Just
we know.
oh my god! And I know that it's a bit more.
Good
than
thing
I,
we're in a band together.
Yeah, I know it's more than I should. Okay, well it's
different when you expect it.
situationally. Yeah, if I'm expecting it, if I'm coming in a band practice and it's loud at band practice, that's fine. But if I'm trying to just
J.O.
I'm just trying to
he's
charge my
trying to charge-
J.O. Crystal.
Yeah, if he's charging, he doesn't want to hear nothing.
I'm charging. And it's loud.
charging.
Oh my god! And my grandpa was. I fucking.
It comes back to
I
the
groped
grandpa.
the shit out of my grandpa's ears. Or gripe. Gripe. I griped him. Grope.
We have that on tape now.
You're welcome.
That's my text tone.
Couldn't hear.
I cracked the shit out of my grandpa's ears.
My whole family can't hear, and then they listen to shit so fucking loud, and then it hurts my ears, and I can't hear conversations that are. I can't have a conversation while there's a loud TV going on.
Is that why you're a subtitles guy?
Yes, because I want.
No, you said you didn't like the loud noises.
Gripe with subtitles. I'm going for it.
Oh
Yeah.
Gripe with subtitles.
Biggest
for
gripe.
sure,
But
yeah.
that's one of my biggest gripes.
two-hand grope subtitles because I want to have the TV volume down so that I can hear other stuff that's happening in my life.
See, I don't care if I'm watching TV. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. If we're watching a movie, you guys probably could just tell. If you're talking and then you look at my face, I'm probably sitting there looking at the movie like, I'm trying to fucking listen to this, please.
See, I think that it boils down to is I don't really
Care?
like getting into movies or TV shows too in depth.
Yeah,
That's me.
Mike can be across the house, and we'll be listening to it at like average to like one click above average volume.
Hey, could
and
you
be
just turn that down?
"Hey guys, can you turn that down?" And it's like, no,
Okay,
sir.
No.
It's hey guys,
no.
can you please turn that down, please? Can you turn that down, please?
Nope.
What was the one? Are you guys both in love with how loud that is?
Doing this. It was just me and Dan and Michaela sitting at the kitchen table, and there was just something going. Next time on Arrested Development, and I was just like, "Hey, do you guys love the volume on that, or can we turn it down a little?" If I'm with you guys, I want to hang out with you guys. I'm
see.
not with you guys to fucking watch TV.
No, but if we all decide we want to watch TV, that's what we're
Well,
doing.
did we all decide that we wanted to watch TV?
Not at that time. Mike
I
has a
don't know.
point.
I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what time you're talking about specifically. I don't even know what the hell.
It's okay. We don't really need to get into
yeah.
it. That's the principle that stands.
At any specific time, I don't think I would ever choose to just watch TV with you.
I'm gonna
You're
go.
griping unwarranted loud noises.
I'm griping
unwarranted.
unwarranted loud noises.
See, our definition for unwarranted loud noises are probably going to be different. Unwarranted to me is I'm walking down the street and some fucking like jackhammer is going off in my ear and it's hurting my fucking ears. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's shocking. We're sitting in a restaurant, somebody drops a fucking tray that like echoes.
And it's like, do your fucking job.
Pleb.
Fired, please. No, but if it's a shocking loud noise like a bam, yes, I hate that. But if I want it, see, I grew up with my dad loved movies. He loved a stereo, and he liked to hear movies the way they should be heard, which is fucking loud, like a movie theater.
Super loud.
I like to listen to things loud. I like my music loud. I like my movies loud.
Turn it up to 10, rock and fucking roll, brother.
Yes. So I will grope loud noises. I will gripe unwarranted.
Yeah, like sirens.
Noises. Yes.
That sucks. I'm firmly in Ben's camp on this one. Dan.
I'm with Mike. If I'm walking down the street and there's a jackhammer, he's got more reason to be there than I do. Regardless of where I'm going. True. I don't need to be out there. He does. He's on the street for a reason. I'm on the street because I need to be somewhere else. I'm not working on that
let's
street.
Let's say that you're walking down the street and it's not going. And then out of nowhere, it starts going and you're like, oh, fuck,
That's
that was
still-
loud.
Yeah,
That
it started
hurt
me,
my-
but I'm not going to be like,
He's at work,
how
I'm
dare
not.
you? It's
Well, no, it's not about,
I don't
it's
need
not
to
about
be
how
here.
dare you. It's about I did not like hearing that.
True. But I don't think that's unwarranted.
What
I think
about
that's
the TV specifically? Where
Well, in that circumstance with you, Michaela, it was comically loud and nobody was even in the room. We were in the kitchen and the TV was just... So that is unwarranted. That does bother me.
But that's not even the whole thing with him.
I just enjoy.
so it's 2-2, basically, is what you're saying.
So
I
basically
think-
nothing got accomplished.
Cool.
Equal gripe
But
is...
now people know the opinions of 4 white dudes, which is ideal. Everybody cares what we think a lot, and the whole world needs to know how us 4 middle-class white dudes feel.
We are the
And
money
that's-
demographic.
yeah,
I mean,
that's
clearly
true.
we care about what white people think because we put a fucking idiot at president.
That's true.
Just based alone, you look at his tweets and
Yeah.
people go nuts over that.
Yeah, we can all
so.
agree on that.
Basically,
I got a
we're
gripe
all like Trump.
All of us? All the white people?
What?
Moving on.
Yes,
Wait, are we done with that? Because I had a
No,
Hey,
it's you.
what's your gripe?
Elon Musk.
Ooh. Hot button.
I gripe Elon Musk so hard. Every time I think about Elon Musk, I just think about griping him,
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to gripe you, dude.
gripe him off.
Yeah, I'm just going to gripe the shit out of him,
Cool. Go on.
I don't think he's a good person. I think secretly he's up to something, and it's not for the benefit of anybody but himself. And I think that could easily be explained by just looking at his Twitter feed. Just the shit he says to people, and the shit he does, and the shit he just gets in trouble for, like the whole thing that removed him from the board of directors or whatever.
Is he still dating that 12-year-old rapper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're dating a 12-year-old right now. She's not actually 12, but she might
She's
as well
like
be.
a third of his age.
I gripe the shit at Elon Musk. Don't like him.
I don't
You could
feel
send
any...
that to the bank.
I don't have any strong opinion. I know he does do a lot of good, and I don't really care why. I know he does help people, so I feel I'm on the fence, but the fence is crooked, leaning toward grope.
Well, this could also be a larger conversation about the fact that now every single person of influence we have to know the entire details of their lives, which then affects the work that they do and the way that we perceive that their work.
Yeah, I can see that.
I
And
mean,
that's not the way that it always was. And is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? I don't know.
Yeah,
but
Well,
that is different.
beyond that, he misled investors, which is incredibly
Yeah,
illegal.
that's true.
And he also called one of the people that saved one of those Tide children a pedophile, totally unwarranted, with no...
Yeah, because he was jealous that he didn't get to do
Yeah,
it.
he was mad that he didn't get to participate, and he called somebody a pedophile, ruining their reputation.
I think that I gripe Twitter.
Okay, well, that's...
Yeah.
I think that
I gripe Twitter, too.
I think that follows with the gripes with both Elon Musk and Donald Trump.
It's true.
But to Mike's point, I mean, I'm sure John D. Rockefeller was probably a piece of shit, but he changed American industry forever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like...
Exactly, piece of shit.
Yeah, but he was... But that's not how he's remembered now, and that's... If he had a Twitter, he'd
Kind
probably...
of is.
Yeah, he was
Like
like
they're a pretty evil family.
Yeah. That's totally true. But at the same time, the steel and railroad industry or whatever. Was it steel or railroad? Both.
I don't know much about Rockefeller.
He probably had. He
Yeah,
absolutely
his
had a
fingers
hand
in
in
a couple
both.
of pies.
Yeah.
Rockefeller was railroad, I want to say, because Carnegie was the
Carnegie
steel
was steel.
magnate.
Okay, well, same goes for Carnegie. I'm sure they're both pieces of shit, but their work spoke for itself as far as the American industry and economy goes. And, just to parallel to Musk, it's like, yeah, he's doing all these batteries. He gave a bunch of power supply to Puerto Rico, which was cool. Or he was gonna. I don't know.
He probably didn't. He probably did.
He said he
Everyone just said, I want to give power to Puerto Rico.
and everybody's like, yeah, Elon. And then he's like, okay, I'm just gonna kind of back out slowly. But yeah,
Probably did it.
I'm gonna fix the traffic in L.A. by making more traffic. Yes,
underground. Yeah. So I mean, to Mike's point, I think that that maybe you can separate the man's work from the man, right? So that's kind of what you're saying.
Which Twitter doesn't allow anyone to do anymore.
No.
Just the fucking 6-second news cycle doesn't
Yeah.
allow anybody
The
to do that.
very
anymore.
non-comedic question I posed was, should we separate the man's work from the man?
To a degree,
That
but
is comedic.
yeah.
I think it depends on the man and depends on the work.
Kevin Spacey.
He's such a good actor.
Man, he really is.
Did you see him when he
He
said?
was a
hey,
good
check,
actor.
hey, look at my Kevin Spacey impression. I didn't.
That was good. That was good. Ben,
I'm gay.
that was your gripe.
Yes, Elon Musk is my gripe. You grope Elon Musk, am I correct? And
I said it was
that?
close. I'm on the fence, but the fence is leaning toward.
Well,
But
Gripe.
you're getting a little grope in there. A little bit of grope. You said
Yeah,
it was
squeeze.
leaning, okay.
Yeah, I'm leaning toward grope.
Yeah, are you groping him?
That's an over the pants grope.
Are you,
It's great.
you doing a 2-hand grope or a single?
No,
like,
it's a full gripe wipe.
gripe one. Okay.
I'm gonna go with grope because the man put a car in space, and that's all I care about.
Well, that's
Boom.
Boom! You can't argue with that.
as I can, but I'm not going to.
No, he did do that. He did it.
Why? Who knows?
I don't care. He did it. There was
But
a
he
fake
did it.
astronaut driving a Tesla in space, and it was a convertible.
And he was probably a pet.
Ah, shit. So never mind. I gripe.
And
Because
can you
they can
imagine
be
the
in
wind out
space.
there?
Yeah, because they can. That's like so not practical. What wind? Yeah, there's no wind in that guy's hair whatsoever. Because the astronauts have to shave their head. That's why.
Is there wind in space?
No.
I don't know.
It's a vacuum.
You know what? Hang
Not entirely, I
on.
don't
You were the
think.
only one that answered that one. Honestly,
What?
you don't know.
We don't
You
know.
haven't been to space. You don't know.
No. But that who's the astronaut that like always like just talks about what he's got the mustache. He played guitar in space. He yeah, we just released videos like this is how you do. This is how you shave in space.
Tom Selleck or whatever.
He looks like him, but he just did the like
Or whatever.
what actually happens if you were to like take your helmet off, and you like the 5 worst ways you instantly would freeze, burn, your lungs would get like sucked out of your mouth.
I heard that that's not the case.
Well, an astronaut said it
Yeah.
was true.
But Vsauce, a very credible, very, very smart man,
I'll
said
grow
that's-
up Vsauce all day.
Oh, I'll
Shit,
grow
that
the
guy is-
shit out of Vsauce.
I know nothing about Vsauce.
Really?
Get out,
Who is
man.
this Vsauce?
Oh, man,
my God.
But
he's the one.
but he said that you wouldn't die instantly. You would suffocate and your body would bloat. You
Yeah, it would expand, but
like you wouldn't like just
because the sun rays alone, it's if you're in direct sunlight, it's like 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and if you're in the shade, it's like minus 200. So, which obviously depending if you're like behind the moon or like something, depending where something. But assuming like if waist down somehow, you would like simultaneously freeze and burn and suffocate.
That's awesome.
Like I
you
can't
wouldn't-
remember what
I
they
don't
were,
think you
but
would
like
die instantly though. I think it would take maybe 30 seconds or so.
I mean, the air would be. Oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean you would
however long-
suffocate. You'd be like,
There'd be no air.
Hey, wait,
because it'd be
everybody,
just
you
You have to
vacuumed
wait for the
out.
Hey, wait.
oxygen in your blood
everybody,
to run out.
I'm gonna do my impression of a guy in space dying. Thank you.
And the Academy Award goes to Elon Musk.
He did that.
Do you mind if I get one more gripe out of you, Garrett? Do you have one more for us?
Yeah, I can do another one.
I would like one more gripe, please.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to the whole astronaut thing because in our have you seen this? Have you heard about this? I have an astronaut news story that's kind of
Cool.
interesting. Okay, here we go. Ready? This came up today while we were watching some Fail Army videos. Extreme sports. Gripe or grope.
What are we talking
Pick a
about?
lane. Mountain biking, snowboarding,
Pick a lane.
parasailing, paragliding, parachuting, any kind of anything.
Okay, well, hold on. What do you? I mean, that's
Just
a
do you-
little vague.
Doing them, watching them. Extreme sports. Gripe or grope.
I'm gonna grope. I'm gonna grope because I like to mountain bike.
I'm gonna grope
because a lot of those things are pretty fucking badass, and I can't do most of them, which means they take skill, and I respect it, and I'm gonna grope them for it. If you know what I'm talking about.
I'm going to grope based on the fact that if it wasn't for extreme sports, Red Bull would not get as much marketing.
True, I do love
And
Red
this
Bull.
man loves
Love
his Red Bull.
Red Bull
Gives you wings.
or something.
Daniel.
There's a sponsor right there.
Yeah, this episode's brought to you by Red Bull. It gives you wings.
We're gonna give an ad read
We're
on
picking
them
ones that
later.
are hard to not two-parter because I very much grow up the idea of them because that is impressive, but I gripe the people that usually perform them because I just picture like the dudes
The
with
Chads?
like the Chads with
Chad
the
and
Fox
Brad
sticker on the back of their truck, like the
yeah.
Jazz.
Mostly dirt
monster
biking.
hats with
Yeah.
the bills turned up.
with something in
the
Sharpie
water
written.
chads.
yeah, water chads,
Water Chads.
mountain chads, any elemental chad I'm not into.
So gripe, but I grope,
but
but I
Travis
gripe
Pas-
Chads.
Travis Pastrana. That's all I'm gonna say about extreme sports.
It's a really good sandwich.
Travis Pastrami. What's your take on extreme sports over there?
I kind of gripe. I'm leaning towards gripe. On one hand, Red Bull's great. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was super cool.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Skateboarding
You know,
extreme sport.
I don't know about that, but
It was when I come on.
okay, hold on.
PlayStation 1
X Games skateboarding is different from regular skateboarding.
But Tony Hawk wasn't X Games. It was
No, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I don't think Tony
but that's
Hawk
still
is
an extreme sport.
Oh, okay.
X Games, you see
Street
them going
skating,
off
you see
like
people-
300-foot ramps like that, and Tony Hawk's like going over a fucking bump.
Tony Hawk's a vert skater anyway, so he does half pipe. So he's like an X
Yeah.
Games guy. But you're
Well, you're talking about the game.
Like Rodney Mullen is like
Kareem-
so
Kareem
cool.
Campbell.
Yeah. They're like
Officer
they're street
Dick.
skaters, which I think is cooler than vert skating anyway, just to
Yeah.
watch. But that's besides the point. So those are the two things I like. It can be cool to watch. It's like, whoa. But
I mean, I technically racing like rally car and stuff follows. I would, in my opinion, would go under extreme.
I would put that under
sports.
automotive. I think for me, I mean that's a whole nother debate. But I gripe extreme sports for the reasons that elemental chads are no bueno. No me gusta elemental chads. Also, have you ever tried them? Like, oh Lord, they're hard.
Does
And
it look like I've ever tried?
I mean, have you ever
sport
tried
alone?
Have you ever tried baseball legitimately? I mean, oh Lord, that's hard, but you love it.
yeah, it was fun.
So
not
those
extreme.
But I never got a concussion playing baseball.
You played football.
I broke my wrist. You're right. But
You're right. You're right.
But like even okay, so for instance, like you're on a weekend trip with your buds, maybe or with your girl, or it could be with your family. Doesn't matter. You're going up to Tahoe, and everybody's so excited for a weekend. A bunch of snow bunnies headed up. You got the chains on the car. You get up to the lodge, and it's there's a bunch of elemental chads like oh sick flips, bro.
Do the deal.
Do the deal. And
Got some
the whole
catchphrases.
party like, oh, let's go snowboarding, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that.
Let's go hot cocoa
I don't know
by
if
the
that's
fire.
exactly
Yeah.
a reason to condemn
Go hit up a
extreme
Denny's.
sports.
I'm gonna-
It's not the sport's fault you can't do it.
Yes, it is.
No.
Be easier.
It shouldn't be that hard. It knew what it was doing.
yeah, I'm just gonna put some plastic on my feet and mountain.
So with that, you gripe the shit out of extreme sports.
Yeah,
Because they
I-
ruin your time in Tahoe.
Yeah, it's just like I'd rather sit in the lodge, and I don't want to be called a weenie anymore.
That's
We're just going
never
to
gonna
float out
happen.
on the lake and
You
do
know,
nothing.
Extreme sports aside, you sitting in the lodge, people can call you weenie.
But
In any situation, you can get called a weenie.
yeah, how else? I can't get
Gripe or grope, being a weenie.
I can't.
Or just weenies.
I grope being a weenie. I gripe weenies. But I can't get my toasty feet by the fire with some French onion soup out on the slopes. I'd rather do that. So yeah, I gripe extreme sports.
You don't-
I still partake in the viewing of them in passing, but as a whole,
I gripe. I'm on team gripe.
gripe.
You don't grope the slope.
Don't grope the slope.
I grew up the slope.
Can't
You
grow
grew
up the slope, bro.
Do you grow up the slope?
Yeah, sure. I don't have a really.
You gripe the pipe.
I feel like we. I feel like we need a middle term for this.
No, it's the world works in black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no spectrum. Anybody that thinks
It's
there's a
love and hate.
spectrum, I mean,
Grape,
come on.
gripe, grope, or grape.
You have water. You have dirt.
Because nobody really feels super strongly about grapes, right?
I am.
I feel they're
All right, fuck me.
good.
Yeah, I'm.
Wait, you
allergic.
hate grapes?
them.
No, I like grapes.
Oh, I love
I just
grapes.
don't love them.
No.
Okay.
all right. Is that a wrap on young Mike?
I
Wrap
think
on young
Mike's going to be heading out.
Smash cuts. No more Mike.
Welcome back.
So our next segment is Garrett fixes his microphone.
Welcome back to the 14th time with the Modern Wild.
Alrighty,
Thank you.
this is. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? That's the name of the segment. Where we, where we find some news stories that are strange, bizarre, or amusing, and bring them to your vicinity.
Earballs.
Straight to your pipe.
Let's see here.
Straight to your pipe, eh?
Straight to your pipe.
Oh, yeah, bud.
Can't find the one that I was looking for.
What are you going to do about it, bud? Straight to your pipe.
That ended a little Scottish.
I know.
Straight to your pipe.
Straight to your pipe. That's not even Scottish.
Yeah, I don't know what that. We both did it weird.
We're better than this, we
Swedish.
promise.
Straight to your pipe.
We're better than this, I swear.
All right, so let's start with this one. This is an easy one. I'm just going to get into things. I'll read you the headline, and I want you guys to sort of...
Are we doing a guess if this is a real or not?
No, they're all real. They're all real news stories. I just want you to comment on what you think the circumstances are and what type of human... just kind of give me your thoughts on just the headline. I could read also like the lead if you wanted.
Can we try to finish the headline, or you give us a blank like
Like a Mad Libs type deal?
And
You wanna
then
do
whether
that?
we get it or not, then we actually go into the real story.
Yeah,
But
let's start with that.
Okay, all right. This is a good one. Here's the... I'm going to leave out one word.
yeah,
False alarm. Knife-wielding man on metro revealed to be expert blank cutter.
I'm going to go expert sausage cutter. Like a master sausagist.
sausages. Expert paper cutter.
Ooh,
dude.
off the beaten path with a knife?
No, with like one of those ring
Fuck
cutters.
scissors.
But he had a knife. It was explicitly stated.
He removed it.
So when you take the ream cutter off, it's now a knife.
Just a machete.
Are you ready?
So I guess I'm taking it. We didn't get.
No,
it yet.
I guess if I had to award points, it would be to Ben. Knife-wielding man on metro revealed to be expert ham cutter.
Oh,
ham.
Yeah, just ham. The man cuts ham.
A man can cut a ham.
Basically, what happened is this is from I don't know. I can't speak French. El Pais, Pais. It's like a web news source in Paris or somewhere in France. It's all Paris is all of France, right?
Yep.
The dude, people, I guess there was a security camera of this dude with like a giant sharpening a very, very large knife on the metro. And evidently nobody on the train gave a shit. But then somebody, like, there was no sense of panic.
That's normal here.
Yeah, I guess.
It kind of sounds like the New York Metro.
There's a lot of delyists in Paris, I guess.
deli masters.
They were just judging his skills as opposed to calling the authorities.
Yeah, security guards reviewed the footage. They tracked the guy down, and he was like, "Yo, I was just getting ready to cut some ham." And that's
On the train?
oh,
Or he was taking the train to the
he's
ham.
taking the train to the ham.
Taking the train to the ham, bro.
I like to imagine that the police are like, "Oh, well, you can go."
Yeah. They were like,
mistake.
"Oh, that's good. You should probably not wield or brandish a large knife."
Like a grindstone on the train.
Like a big old
flying.
whetstone.
There's also just like a fire, and he's just
Yeah, he's forging a knife on the metro.
Evil music is playing in the background.
there's dark clouds above him.
The man was a dwarf. Yeah.
Oh.
So I just don't know why, like, is he getting paid? Like, it seems like working off the clock to me.
I mean, I'm
OT.
gonna grind my sword. I'm gonna grind my knife when I get to work.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Once
do
I
that.
punch the,
Yeah.
now you're paying me. Now I'll do it.
Yeah, or maybe he's like a freelance ham cutter, like he works on contract.
Like independent contract.
Yeah,
Like
That
you call,
day he was going to cut a ham.
hey, you cut hams? I got this ham at home. I really need it cut. Can you come over?
I just eat it in smaller pieces. How do I get there?
don't worry, ma'am. I went to school.
I've done this before.
Yep. So that's the first one. Let's see here. Okay, this is gonna be a long blank because otherwise there's no way to do it.
That's what she said.
Good one. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 8 words, but you can like
That's the blank or that's the total?
the blank is 8 words, but otherwise there's no
That's
way.
fine.
There's
That's
no
fine.
way to do
I'm gonna
that.
insert more than 8 words.
That's what she said. Man.
An R. Kelly song.
Oh,
Oh damn.
hot topic. Hit the hot topic.
R. Kelly gropes, but I gripe. R. Kelly, but he gropes.
Let's move
That was
on.
in poor taste. Man chokes cashier for blank.
Man chokes cashier for sexual favors not received by the man.
That's 7.
One more word. Dude.
Period.
Ever. Period.
For
It's
sexual
right now. It's written.
Period.
Out. It's written
Because-
out. Period.
because the guy didn't receive sexual favors. That's why he choked him.
Ever. Period.
Okay. Close, but not at all.
Read it back to me.
Man chokes cashier for blank.
Man chokes cashier for refusing to assist with his dying family member.
Wow. Like if
Listen to me, damn it!
She's dying. Don't you understand?
if she's gonna die, so are you. No, those are both. Like if I was this guy, I'll show you his picture. That's him.
Looks about right.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. If I was this guy, either of those are okay reasons to choke someone. Maybe. I don't know. No. Man chokes cashier for putting chips and canned goods in the same grocery bag.
Damn it, I wanted the light separated from the darks.
Apartheid's a whole nother thing.
That's not like he opened the chips and opened the canned goods and poured them in a bag.
Yeah, okay.
So you just want this together? Or?
It's cool. Paper plastic.
So this happened in
Oh, that's something my gripe.
what?
They're like paper or plastic. Oh, I'll take plastic. Oh, we don't have any. You have to buy this paper bag. Well, then why'd you ask?
Okay, Satan.
Could you be any worse? So this happened in Fairview, Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah.
Of course it did.
According to comes from globalnews.ca. According to Fairview Township Police, which I didn't know there were townships still. That's interesting. Bradley Bauer was shopping with his wife at a Giant Food Store. Is the name of the food store? Giant Food Store. Yeah, Giant Food Store. The store. On February 2nd, when he allegedly attacked the cashier for the way the clerk was handling his groceries. Police noticed in a criminal complaint that Bauer explained to officers he had asked his clerk, quote, not to throw his groceries around. The man said he had several bags of chips and, quote, didn't want them to get all smashed up.
That's very upsetting. That is very upsetting.
End quote.
All smashed up, you know?
Bauer told police the cashier then proceeded to take the chips in the same bag as the canned goods the man had purchased. And the clerk was, quote, smashing the chips. Like he had just been asked not to. The man said he had asked the cashier to stop bagging his items in this manner. The victim told police Bauer had paid for his groceries, and while he was walking away, turned and asked the man, do you have a problem with me? Because I have a problem with you.
Boom!
So let's paint this picture a little more clearly. The guy,
I like to imagine that the cashier is just like shoving it in the bag.
But holding eye contact,
is-
like just smashing the chips.
Hey, is this good though? You want these here?
so the man buys some chips and some kind of canned goods. I'm gonna go ahead and assume
food.
it was Chef Boyardee raviolis.
Oh, I wish Mike was here.
It is Pennsylvania.
It's Pennsylvania.
That's where the capital.
can't get the
That's
fresh-
the ravioli, Chef Boyardee ravioli
Yeah,
capital.
they can't get the fresh stuff there. He buys these things, and whatever else, probably a couple handles of plastic bottle vodka. They're in the bag, already smashed or not smashed. Not relevant, I don't think. And he begins to walk away. He then, in his mind, thinks, what would be a good idea? I'm going to turn around, provoke, and choke. The old provoke and choke.
He was like, hey, problem with me? Because I have a problem with you.
Yeah, he started walking away, and he turned around and said, do you have a problem with me? Because I have a problem with you. The victim told officers he thought Bauer was kidding, and he replied,
Hey, man,
and
we got
replied to the
problem.
man, do you? That's when police said Bauer attacked the cashier, grabbing him around the neck and shoving the clerk against the cash register while calling the victim an idiot.
You an idiot, man.
He was able to be pushed away, and they called the police.
Hey, you don't understand? He smashed my chips, man.
Turns out Bauer told the officers he knew he was in the wrong and was having a bad day.
Well, yeah, his chips are smashed.
How can you have a good day?
Yeah, day
Well,
over.
he quote said, "The day was great until my chips got smashed."
You know?
Quote, the issue with the chips just sent him over the edge.
I mean, I can relate, man.
Simple assault. Then funny tagline from globalnews.ca. Next time, he might consider Pringles.
I was picturing Pringles the entire time.
Really?
'Cause that
I
is
was
canned
picturing
goods.
like
Yeah.
Lay's.
I was picturing the salt and cracked pepper kettle chips.
Oh, so bougie over there.
I don't know, because I saw a
I'm
bag
too good for Lay's.
recently. Yeah, so that was that one.
Did he go to jail?
Simple assault. He's being charged. So,
So,
So
I wonder
it's
if he
all.
ate the chips.
Wait. This guy is pressing charges against him.
I believe so.
Well, I probably would too.
Yeah, if somebody choked me at my place of work, I don't think I'd be terribly happy about it.
Hey, you got a problem?
No, he's right. I fucked up. I shouldn't have smashed his chips.
Okay. This one comes from Fox News, so it's not credible.
So it's credible.
So you know it's real.
Oh wait, what? It's not credible? Wait, what? I thought. Never mind. I mean. Oh boy, I'm stunned.
Okay, here we go. Popular, published 6 days ago from New York Post. Actually, it was just published on.
Oh,
Fox
it's
News.
probably super credible.
Super great. Popular Russian candy bars made with secret ingredient blank.
I'm gonna go with laxative.
Plutonium.
They're just going to Chernobyl. They're picking up the scraps and whatever they can find, they'll shove it in the candy bar.
Put it in the candy bar. That was a terrible Russian accent.
Hey, bro, put it in the candy bar.
Put it in the candy bar.
Oh, that turned like Persian or something. Damn it, we're
Hey,
off.
bro.
Hey, hello, put it in candy bar. Hello.
Let's see if I if I tell you the name of the candy bar, maybe it will shed some light on what
Okay.
this
Reese's Pieces.
secret ingredient was.
Reese's Pieces.
The candy bar was called hematogen.
It's called Sokolov. Oh,
Hematogen?
Hematogen.
that sound. They're putting live.
Nematodes?
Oh, they're putting hymens in it.
Live hymen?
Live
They're
hymens.
sentient.
No, they grow them like stem cells. In these little dishes, okay? They grow these little dishes, right? Like
Tubes or dishes?
these dishes, man. They take the hymen and they put it in.
I'm glad we got the word hymen into our first podcast. That's probably.
I mean, I wouldn't have been
Daily
satisfied
Double.
if I
Official.
didn't. If
Yeah.
I wasn't able to slip that in, I don't know.
think of hemoglobin. Where do you find
Brain.
hemoglobin? But more specifically,
The back of your brain?
no. Think
Hemoglobin's your liver, isn't it?
hemoglobin is a count in your blood. The secret ingredient in these candies bars.
Is blood.
And these candies, boss.
Hello, in these cans, these bars, no?
Blood?
It has, let's see, hematogen, a chocolatey, chewy snack with an oddly metallic aftertaste, was the go-to snack for Russian kids before the fall of the Soviet Union.
Makes sense. They probably put the fucking traitors inside.
Made with, tell me how delicious this sounds to you guys, because it sounds pretty delicious to me. Made with beet sugar. Condensed milk and sugar syrup. It's also infused with a surprising secret ingredient, cow's blood.
No.
The popular candy was created as a kid-friendly iron supplement.
I mean, how else are you going to get it?
But while the label listed black food albumin, translation blood, as an ingredient, most people didn't know what they were eating. A generation of tots came to love the ubiquitous blood bars, which were cheaper and more accessible than candy. Now these same Russian adults still have a soft spot for hematology.
Now they have a
soft spot on the top of their head from eating all the blood.
I don't want to say anything.
It remains available to this day. You can still get it. Later on in the article, it goes on to say that you can get it in Russia pretty readily, but like some small Russian like liquor stores and corner stores, you can buy it in New York. And it has cow's blood in it.
I don't want to say anything, but like I really want to cut your arm open and eat it. I was eating too much chocolate.
Make a fist for me.
Thanks. What else we got here, Doc?
Kevin Hart talks to star in the Monopoly movie, but we can gloss right over that one.
Monopoly
I
movie.
don't even understand what the fuck you just said to me.
Hasbro and Kevin Hart's movie production company are making the Monopoly movie.
Okay, I still don't understand.
There's no
Hasbro
story
and Kevin
to
Hart
Monopoly.
are teaming. Number one, why is Kevin Hart and Hasbro teaming up to make a movie? Two, why are they making a Monopoly movie? I'm sorry, just fucking go outside and film what's happening. I mean, we live
It's a
in
documentary.
capitalism. Oh, it's like one of those
About the game?
No, it's a narrative movie where a kid.
It's gonna be like the Lego movie or some dumb shit.
No, it takes place a kid on Baltic Avenue, which I think is like the poor street in Monopoly Town.
The first brown town.
Yeah, the
Oh man! I did not. I didn't realize until you pointed to that.
That's
The
racist.
Monopoly just starts off on the wrong foot.
yeah.
Go! You're in the brown town.
Yeah, and it's so a kid starts off in the poor
Get out of here.
the poor neighborhood of Monopoliopolis, and grows up to, I guess, by what's the big one?
Boardwalk.
Boardwalk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Boardwalk is-
I guess that's the thing.
You know what I love about that is you get past all the brown town. You get all the way to the nice towns, right? And they congratulate you. They say, "Here's $2. Thanks for getting away from that."
Now go
shit."
back to Browntown.
But they still charge income taxes directly in the middle of the two brown towns.
That's fucked up, Monopoly.
And it's the same tax no matter where you're on the board.
I wonder if Kevin Hart knows about this.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Get him on the phone.
But yeah, I don't really feel the need to talk about it anymore.
We already did.
That's
Not much
bizarre.
more you can say.
So I'm also not gonna do like the little Mad Lib for this one because we were kind of talking about something similar to this earlier. Buzz Aldrin said that it is entirely possible, nay, probable, that there is poop on the moon.
Human poop?
I'm sorry. Is he admitting to shitting on the moon?
There's poop on the moon.
I think
Moon poop.
there may or may not be poop on the moon. I'm just saying, you know.
Human poop?
Yes.
Or like they saw it poop and they didn't know what species it was from.
It's just a fat log.
Glowing in the dark.
Oh shit!
No, I lost the article. I can't find it, but I read it last night.
That just sounds
He
like
said it's possible. So like,
that
I
sounds.
could say that and have just as much weight to
Okay,
It
it.
no,
sounds
so
like
here's
they
the thing.
on the little capsule. They probably had to fucking get rid of the shit that was on there, and they probably just dumped it on the moon.
Yeah, so there are bags of like the excrement from, and they just kind of left the trash bags on the moon. They littered on the moon,
Oh, how fucking!
and some of those
dare
bags have poop in them, which means.
Imagine what the fines are going to be.
Can you imagine if they lit it on fire?
So he said he feels bad for whoever has
Aliens
to
are
go
stomping it out.
whoever has to go pick it up. He said he feels bad for. Way to push your problems,
Dude,
off on
okay.
someone
I'll
else,
go.
Buzz.
If they're looking for
I
someone
mean,
to go pick up the poop on the
I
moon,
mean, if we're
I'll
looking at it this
volunteer.
way, I mean that poop is probably like, I mean, compared to Earth poop, it's probably relatively well preserved.
I would think so.
Or it just got fried in the sun and it's like a steaming bag of poop, like ready to pop.
Yeah, a poop popper. But he said that
I want everybody at home to imagine that.
there were bags of, and it's probably not just poop. It's like poop and urine and probably vomit and also like probably food waste. And that it's kind of an unintentional, cool experiment to see, like, because there's definitely bacteria, because there's bacteria in poop and there's bacteria in food waste.
It's true.
Yeah, let's see how they fucking adapted
see
for
if-
that,
see
so
if
that we
they
can bring down
preserved
super
it all.
organisms back to Earth.
Super poop monsters from the moon. I'm gonna start writing a spec script. That sounds like a great idea. Super
Like a
poop.
Captain Underpants.
I'll
slot.
bleep that from the podcast so nobody hears you say it.
Yeah, trademark.
TM.
Do we want more news stories or do we want to move on?
I'd say we move on.
All right, let's move on. Also, dolphins get high. That's another cool one.
Dolphins are basically people.
Yeah, they're cool.
They're basically people.
They like sting
except
themselves.
They hide their dicks.
They sting themselves with puffer fishes just enough to get high, and then they just like trip balls in the ocean.
Genius.
Fuck, I gotta do that.
So
I wish I was a dolphin.
next segment is gonna be what do we probe time?
Time to get
Time to
probed.
get probed.
Time to get probed.
on the subject of space. It's time to get probed.
Who's ready to get probed? So it's just an Ask Me Anything. We just wanted a snappy name, and that, in all honesty, the name's not that snappy, but it's accurate. So that's what we're gonna go with. We're gonna probe Ben today. We're gonna get knuckle deep in a little Benny Alicia.
Here we go. I mean, it's not like it hasn't happened already.
So Ben, how's your bush?
Well,
Just like how is it? How's it doing?
it's doing pretty nice. You know, took a shower last night.
Oh,
So I cleaned it up a bit.
like with soap or?
No, I shave my bush pretty regularly.
Like daily? How's
No. Like once a month. But I like to keep it short. I like to
Shave or like a trim shave?
not shave, trim. Like I keep it as short as you can go without it being gone. So it's a little bit of stubble. I don't like it to be completely gone because that can create problems for just about any man.
So it's like a cool Antonio Banderas 5 o'clock shadow.
Yes, it's very fun to rub your fingers on it. And I also shave my nutsack. Ayo.
That is.
I thought I was shaving my balls last night. I'd like to do it in the shower. That way, you know, they're all moist. No,
shave them.
this is a pro tip, and this is seriously a pro tip. This is where you get the benefit of this podcast. Okay,
Yeah, this is
remember
the
at the
only
beginning?
beneficial thing.
Remember at the beginning when we said there was going to be benefits to listening to this? This is it. If you're going to shave your balls, shave them in the shower. That way the skin gets loosened up, and of course they're going to sag a little bit, but that way you're able to kind of squeeze them, and I'm not joking. This is how you do it if you really want to look it up. This is how you should do it. You got to squeeze them to make the skin like tighter, so that way you don't nick yourself, and then you shave them. So you want to do it in the shower, and you want to make sure it's warm and that your balls are being able to be stretched.
Like just shaving cream.
Yeah, just some shaving cream. I mean, you probably want to put
You use
some,
like a
straight
Gillette razor? You use like a
I use a Harry's razor.
like a Sweeney Todd razor?
No, not a straight razor.
Just
I
a
would-
straight edge.
If you're gonna do it, use just a regular shaving razor for your face, or use
How many
a
blades?
safety razor. The more the better. I mean, it'll be smoother. If you use one blade, I feel like you're totally gonna cut your nutsack.
See,
in half.
I don't have a steady hand. I can never just go vertically.
No, you just gotta-
I always left and right a little.
just
Is all
very,
it takes.
very gently.
You know?
And you know what's funny is last night I was like, oh, I need to squeeze these, and I started doing it, and I'm like, and I nicked myself, and I'm like, oh, I thought that was gonna be a bleeder, but it wasn't. It almost did the deal, but I
That's
was
a
good.
hazard.
That was a hazard.
Got some catchphrases.
But you know what? I have nicked my balls.
It happens.
It's not that bad.
It happens.
It doesn't hurt.
I have not used a straight razor for anything.
No, not a straight
probably
razor.
since like a actual razor. It's
Like
I,
How do you keep
close
your
shaver?
face so silky smooth?
That's a secret he
electric.
cannot reveal.
You use an electric razor for that?
yeah.
Wow.
I have two. I have one that's like gets like the bulk work, and I have another one that's like with like
Just a close, but you don't want it
a
too
clo- a clo-
close.
No,
Yeah, because
It's
when
like
it gets
the-
too close,
the-
then you
the
can
three,
get.
then that's like
creates
down to the
problems.
skin.
Yeah, I do the
But
same thing. Like if
I
I'm
use the same
edging
one
up.
down for my balls,
Cool.
and then just rinse it off.
So they get short there. I just really like the feeling of my smooth ball, and I'm sure a woman
Smooth
would.
as egg.
I'm sure a woman would appreciate that too. I'm sure they don't like having hair in their fucking mouth.
I don't think it matters.
I, think
I mean,
it
to
does.
a
I think it
degree.
does. I think
like once she's
more
decided-
than anything, they put up with it. I think it's more how much will they put up with it rather than do they care. I'm
Okay,
sure they
fair
care.
enough, fair
I think they
enough.
put up with it.
Yeah.
What can you do?
All right. Well, let's go off topic. I'm going to probe you further, Ben.
Oh God,
This is an easy one. I'm just to kind of
all my personal information is already out there so far.
to tie it back into the band a little bit. Who's the best drummer of all time? All time, pick one.
That's kind of an impossible question because today it might be someone, tomorrow it might be somebody else.
Okay, but if you had to pick one that you think is like the holy grail of drummers in your experience,
That's fucking tough.
you can give a list on why several people would be in that conversation.
Well, I'm going to start off with someone that just was the first thing that popped in my head, and that's going to be Stuart Copeland. And that's not only because he is just an incredibly fantastic drummer, but he goes beyond being a drummer, and he's his own goddamn orchestra when he wants to be. He knows how to play every fucking instrument, I swear to God. And he can do them all very well.
And he did the soundtrack for Spyro the Dragon,
Yeah,
which
that's
has to count
important.
for something.
Yeah, whatever.
He's a drummer for the Police, for anybody who is unaware who Stuart Copeland is.
And if you're unaware who Stuart Copeland is,
Turn it off.
turn it off. Hey,
Stop the tape.
turn it off. Turn it off. Okay. So I'm gonna do that. God, it's so hard.
Lars Ulrich.
Lars Ulrich. Okay, let me tell you why Lars Ulrich is good. All right? All right. Imagine a song, right? Imagine a song. Imagine any riff. Could be anything, honestly, you know? As long as there's a beat to be put in, you can imagine there's going to be a 2 and a 4, just a... Oh, sweet sound. Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you, Lars.
And then some off-time bass drums here and there.
Yeah, and then he'll have to do cocaine just to record it.
The joke here is that none of us think Lars Ulrich is all that great. You know, in the pantheon of great drummers.
No, he's probably one of the worst.
Yeah, he's one of the worst great drummers of all time.
God, he's so good. God. No, fuck, dude. I don't know.
What about Buddy Guy? Buddy Rich?
Buddy Rich.
What about Rich Buddy?
It's Buddy
Buddy
Rich.
Friend.
Buddy Rich, incredible drummer. Totally modernized just the way people play drums. A huge piece of shit. Huge asshole. Incidentally, he's a total fucking piece of shit. But great drummer. So he's definitely up there.
Neil Peart.
Neil Peart, I don't care. about him.
Overrated?
Overrated, easily. Anybody from the 80s that heard Rush assumes Neil Peart's the greatest drummer of all time.
I mean,
I will fight
you don't
them.
think he's in that conversation?
He's in the conversation for elite drummers, not the greatest drummer.
Okay, fair enough.
I guess Billy Cobham.
Yep, that's
one
what
of
when you
my
said
favorite.
Stuart, when you talked about Stuart Copeland,
Billy Cobham is just... He's
he's
fucking
another guy that
fantastic.
composes all his own music.
Yeah, he's kind of in the league. Not exactly as good as Stuart Copeland.
Technically, though, is he as good? I don't really. I
think
just don't
as
know.
when it comes to drumming, he's... Well, they play different styles, but
Is he more jazz fusion? Or?
He's fusion. He did a lot of stuff with Herbie Hancock and his own fusion and stuff. But when it comes to just all just about technical knowledge of drumming, I'd probably say that Billy Cobham was better.
Okay.
But Stuart Copeland's a little bit more diverse.
When does Danny Carey come into play?
Danny Carey is probably not one of the greatest drummers, but he's one of my favorite.
Yeah, there's a difference there, and that's fine.
So, I mean, he's incredible, but I mean,
What about the Rev, dude?
the Rev, one of my favorite drummers.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Not one of the best.
But pretty badass.
Very, very extremely talented. I wouldn't put him up there though. He's an elite, just like Danny Carey. I just don't think he's the greatest or one of those.
John Bonham?
John Bonham, I'd go elite. I wouldn't say greatest. For what he accomplished, he totally revolutionized. I mean, it depends on what you're looking at as like a good drummer, because when it comes to rock and roll, everything before John Bonham and everything after are almost different. You know, he totally just changed the way rock drums were, and he was very good. I just wouldn't say that he was one of the greatest. I think when it comes to rock and roll, maybe easily in the talking for the best rock and roll drummer of all time. Probably wouldn't say he was one of the greatest drummers of all time, because it's usually the jazz guys, man. They're usually the jazz or fusion. I mean,
Yeah, that makes sense. They
the technical know-how and just the skill that goes into having to, play that sort of music. Just it's pretty incredible.
nice.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a hard list.
Yeah, I
don't
mean, it's a
think
tough
I'm
question.
really- I don't
It
really
wasn't a softball. I didn't expect you to just
Yeah, you probed me pretty hard, dude.
probed you good. Are you sore?
I'm feeling something.
You a little sore?
Yeah.
You get some ointment?
No,
Have you been probed enough? Should we move on?
no. Unless Danny has something for me, but if he doesn't, we just move on.
I'm satisfied.
I'm satisfied too.
We can move on. What's next?
Story corner.
Oh,
That's our story corner sound bit that we have not prepared yet.
Brian,
There will be some sound bits.
do that.
We put in. Maybe you'll hear it. Maybe you won't.
I think it'd be funny if I'd say, Brian, insert the sound clip, and then just nothing happens.
We can interject and try to give Brian a phone call real quick.
Oh yeah, we never.
He's currently at the airport trying to get home to Colorado.
Yeah, can you? Let's get an update on Brian. What time is it?
Let's get Brian on the horn. It is 6:50.
Oh, he's about to be leaving. So our good friend Brian, he used to live here. RIP. He lives in Colorado now. He betrayed us. He was just over here for the weekend. We were playing up a show, a festival, little deal up in Davis, which is north of where we are. We live in California, in the Bay Area. And he's on his way back home to Colorado right now, and we're going to get an update on his location.
Yeah, he told us to do where in the world is Brian San Diego.
Brian Mandiego.
Brian Mandiego.
Brian Mandingo.
Brian Mandingo. But then we got started a little later.
And we forgot.
Yeah, and then we forgot. So,
but he'll appreciate it
so
regardless.
yeah, here we go. I'm calling Brian. Speakerphone. Let's go. Can I pick my nose on camera?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Super
I
itchy.
prefer you do.
Hey, get that closer.
Super itchy. Brian. You are on Fortuitous Time with Modern Wild.
Oh my God, that means first time caller, long time listener.
First time, long time. Good to hear it, Brad guy. So where in the world is Brian Mandingo?
Currently at an airport.
Whoa, which one?
The San Francisco one.
How was your commute?
Oh, it was pretty wild. I took a car and then a train, and now I'm waiting for a plane.
Hurry before I go insane.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we remarked earlier humorously that Brian's getting his John Candy on today. He's gone the latter two of the illustrious planes, trains, and automobiles. And you're about to do the cycle today, Brian. How's that feel?
You know what? I've been looking for a good trifecta for a long time.
Hey, Brian, how do you touch yourself?
Carefully.
What's your technique?
Carefully.
Southpaw? You go Western style grip?
Well, Danny was mentioning earlier because I got probed. They probed the shit out of me when it comes to touching myself, and he said that you had a very peculiar way of doing it. Is it safe to talk about here?
Not in particular, but what I will say is French underhand, and then I'm going to hang up.
Okay. Have a safe flight, my friend.
Thanks, caller.
All right, bye, y'all.
Bye.
All right, goodbye. The lines are lighting up.
We don't have any time for any other callers.
Yeah, there's too many callers. Can't pick one.
Okay, so
No, we called him.
so we're gonna get into story time, and then we're gonna get out of your ear holes after that.
I'm sure you're tired of us by now.
Yeah, how long we been doing this? Yeah, hour 12. That's not bad. It's not bad. A little streamlining. We'll be in this thing. So who wants to go first with story time?
You got a story over there, Dan? Or I got one. Do you have a story?
I have a story. I have several stories. I'm trying to decide
feel
which
like
one to go with. But
As of recently, I've been the center point, so I'd rather wait to go.
My nose fell off of my face. It's not a very funny story,
That's
but
not
it's a
very
story
funny,
nonetheless.
But you can go ahead and tell it.
yeah,
I
go
guess.
for it, dude.
Yeah. The preschool that I went to was a house. It used to be a house converted into preschool.
big
It was
is
Wait,
it?
did somebody live there still?
I couldn't tell you. I don't remember anybody living there, but who knows?
Who knows? Am I right?
The day
Turns out he was there by himself.
day before my third birthday, which I believe was a Friday.
Do you remember this?
Hmm? Very clearly.
Before you were 2?
Yep.
I mean, before you were 3?
Before I was 3.
When you were 2?
It's probably traumatic.
So my birthday was, I believe, that Saturday. So the Friday at school, it was my birthday party. And as I said, it was a house. So the front room was carpet, and then the kitchen was tile. And I was either wearing or not wearing shoes. I don't remember. But I was running, and the change in texture in the floor caused me to trip and fly forward. And there was
Not non-slips.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not OSHA compliant.
No.
That was your first
Nope,
mistake.
I'm gonna burn that bitch down.
Yeah. With legal lawsuits.
So I tripped, flew forward, fell, and there was someone had left a wooden wagon in the kitchen.
That's not where that goes.
Nope. And there were no sharp edges. It was all round. But I flew forward and smacked my face.
Clean off.
Smacked clean off. Nose first, hit my nose right on some rounded edge. And I remember her name was Alyssa. I don't remember her last name. Alyssa, if you're listening.
I love you.
Sorry.
I've been in love with you since I was 2.
Haven't seen you recently, but when I remember you being 2,
But I don't remember any pain.
I
Yeah, I fell forward, hit it, and then I stood up, and she was standing in the doorway, and I don't remember any pain. But her, like, I so 100% clearly remember her face, like looking at me, and then she just went white and just put her hands over her mouth. Oh. And that was the last I remember. And then I remember laying on my mom's lap, and I can't remember her name, but my teacher drove us to the hospital in her big ass red pickup truck. I remember my mother was holding my nose onto my face to keep it from, I don't know
Flying
what, because
away.
that's not a very common thing. But one stitch it up, and I've got a little bit of a scar. But yeah, from about halfway up the bridge of my nose down
Jeez.
was just hanging off my face.
That's pretty metal.
So all my birthday pictures from my regular family birthday, I've got like big ass black eyes and scar on my nose.
You're
So.
like,
You know what's crazy about that too, which is a part you've told this story to us before, but
no way.
it's not. I mean, this is the first time I've ever heard of it. But something I didn't consider is your mom was like what 21 at the time.
She was 20 when she had me, so she was 23.
Okay,
at
can
the
you
time.
imagine
young
4 or
mom?
5 years ago you having to deal with your child losing their nose?
No.
Like,
You kidding me?
Like, oh, I'm just figuring out
How to be a parent.
how to be even something
Now I gotta
similar
figure out-
to an adult.
I haven't even
gotta figure
mastered
out-
my own nose yet. Still does things.
now I
And
gotta
then
figure out
she's
how to
sitting
keep
there
my
ho-
kid from killing itself.
Yeah, she's sitting there holding another human's life who she's responsible for,
Yeah.
their nose onto their face
On his birthday.
on his birthday. So, round of applause for Lisa. That's
Yeah.
yeah, that's
You know what I like to
that's
say about
impressive. Hopefully, she never listens to this because we talk about jacking off a lot.
that? I pray to God none of our moms or anyone we really know that well listens to this, because that's gonna be embarrassing.
Somebody will, but it's okay.
I think you were set up.
I think it was a setup.
I think you said soda up. I'm like, yes, I was soda up.
You know what? Despite what
I
you
think it was
believe,
Alyssa.
you know, dude, despite you believing that your mom just put it right back on, I think you were sewed up, dude.
Was it like just an elaborate like I got your nose? Yeah.
Blood everywhere.
That was just ketchup, and you just passed out. No,
Inside job, Alyssa.
I think she did it, and she was just not ready
What'd
for
you
the
slip on?
repercussions.
It was just from running from carpet to tile.
As far as he's aware,
so I think I
it
was wearing shoes, and then like
and the shoes came off.
Somebody tied your shoelaces together quickly.
mid-run.
No, I think somebody had like a pole line, and they pulled it up, tripped you. She set up Alyssa.
Alyssa gives the signal to pull the rope.
Yeah. She pulled it up, and you're like, you thought she was like, hey, come over here. So you started running.
It was the teacher. She was in on it with Alyssa, and they were going to split the insurance money 60-40.
Even though
A murder plot against a 2-year-old.
Even though it's not how insurance money works. So they tripped you. She set up the thing, smacked it, and then when you looked up, she was not ready for the repercussions.
What have
And
I
that's
done?
why.
What have I done? What
and
have
that-
I
These
done?
hands.
And
Yeah.
that's why she hasn't spoken to you since.
Yeah.
Because she can't deal with that.
She knows I'm
That
still in
the
love with
weight
her.
of
Yeah.
that is.
She's
too
been
heavy.
trying.
It's too heavy.
But
She was
not-
pretty cute too. I wonder what she's up to now.
She was
I don't
cute
know.
when
You
she
should
was 2.
totally
I
call
don't
her,
know. She was cute when she was 2.
When I think about you and your 2-year-old self,
I think, oh, you're smoking.
said Danny. He said it.
Yeah, he said it.
Yeah. Cool story, bro. Can that be? Should we call this cool story, bro?
Cool story, bro. Yeah, let's do that.
I like story corner.
I like cool story, bro. We'll work it out.
Cool story corner, bro.
Making fun of this.
Cool story corner, bro? Question mark.
So I will give you guys a choice in my story. It's gonna be like
It's a choose your
Us
own
or the
adventure.
listener?
Yeah, it's a choose your. It's like a R.L. Stein Goosebumps. No, you two. We can do when I pooped a nugget playing basketball in PE,
That's.
or the 3 concussions of Garrett Jackman.
I'm gonna go with the poop and the nugget.
I think poop nugget.
Damn it! I was hoping you picked the concussions for my own embarrass's sake.
That's the story
Yeah,
corner,
that's,
bro.
That's the way the story corner crumbles.
That's the way the nugget crumbles.
I mean, if you leave it in there for long enough, it'll dry up.
And sure enough, crumble.
Dramatic pause.
Dramatic pause. Traumatic pause.
You
So
won't soon forget.
it
Like a
was
dog murderer.
yeah.
Dramatic pause.
So I was
Day before your 3rd birthday.
day before my 3rd birthday. No, yeah,
I was running in basketball.
I believe I was a sophomore in high school.
It's a rough age to poop
It's a
yourself.
tough age to do anything, let alone poop your pants. I was a sophomore in high school, and I had team sports, which I'd like to add, I was just the MVP. I was just one of those kids that tried way too hard in team
Cannot
sports.
confirm.
No, you guys can't confirm because you didn't go to high school with me, but I was always trying so hard because it was fun. I was competitive, and I broke my arm playing football freshman year, so I really didn't get to. And then the coach was a dick. You're a dick, Coach Hamilton. I don't care if you took the fucking football
Probably
team.
married Alyssa.
Yeah, probably. I don't care if you took.
You married underage girls, Hamilton?
She's 2, Coach Hamilton.
You monster.
I don't care if he took the team in one state or whatever the fuck. You're still a dick, and I still never liked you. So I can say that openly now that I don't think there will be repercussions.
I mean, what is he going to do?
He's a pretty large man. He can beat me up. He's a pretty big guy.
I'll fucking kill him.
Anyway, so I got my competitive juices flowing in
Literally.
team sports. My competitive and otherwise juices flowing.
His bodily juices.
So I had it after brunch. We had a 3-period, 2-hour per period schedule at my high school, and at brunch, what's a good idea before I do some team sports? I'm gonna eat a Jose Olay chicken and rice burrito.
Can I have a Jose Olay, a chicken, a bean, a chopped rice burrito?
And some chocolate milk too. Seems like a good cocktail to get me ready to go for what.
Competitive
Well, you get
juices
your
flowing.
You get your protein
Whatever.
and get your food groups.
Yeah, I got carbs,
Beans.
some rubber chicken, and chocolate milk, which I would really love some chocolate milk right now. Can we get blizzards after this?
Oh,
first time?
fuck yes. Yeah.
We're getting blizzards. Oh, nah, haha. You guys aren't getting blizzards. This episode was docked to you by Berry Tween.
Talk to you.
That's a good
Go die a blizzard and Dairy Queen.
We'll hear about them later.
So we get the team sports. Mr. whatever his name was, Swayze, I'm going to say. Mr. Swayze.
Mr. Swayze.
It wasn't that.
It wasn't the other coach. We know this.
Nick Swayze was his name. He's a younger brother of Patrick. He
Younger
says,
brother.
all right, teams. We're
All right, teams, sports.
we're doing basketball today. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. I'm not very good at this one, but I'm still going to win because that's the way I do it.
I like to
Here in
imagine
team
that
sports.
everything in Garrett's
Got my
memory
protein.
of this is just totally illiterate. All right, so teams, let's go.
All right, teams. He was good at sports, not talks. So that's, his fault, I guess. So we get picked for teams, and I got the goth girl that doesn't try, and the kid that does try but has no physical, he wants to be good, but he just isn't.
Oh, this was
isn't.
dual sex basketball team?
Yeah. It was non-segregated.
Co-ed.
Co-ed,
co-ed,
that's the word.
Yeah. Dual sex.
I like
that.
dual sex basketball team.
We're playing dual sex basketball. It's very. I'm not going to explain the rules here. You can look it up on Wikia, the dual sex Wikia, all the different dual sex pantheon of sports.
Wiki sex.
Dual sex curling is my favorite, but we can get into that later. So opposite me, I was elected team captain because of course I was.
From what you told us so far, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
He got
Coach
kicked
knew
off
you
the
had a
football. He
burrito.
got
And-
kicked off the football team, and then
I didn't get kicked off. I broke my arm and then I quit. And then Hamilton walked by me one time. He's like, "Quitter!" And I was like, "You're a grown man." That's neither here nor there. So opposite me was this kid called. They called him Kevin. If you're listening, Kevin, I don't hold.
sorry
I
for
don't
your
hold
name.
anything against you. He was, and not to say anything bad of this, but he was somewhere on the autism spectrum.
It's not his fault.
No, not at all. And it's that's who he was. I think
I'm
apart
just informing the listeners.
apart from that, he was just a dick. Regardless, I don't know.
It had nothing to do with his mental state.
I don't think so. I think some people are just born a dick, and this guy was just always a dick. I don't know his whole life story. I don't care to at this
What's he
point.
doing
Good question. He was another guy that tried way too hard, but I think maybe because of his condition, he didn't know where to draw the line as far as physical contact goes. So I get matched up against K-May's team, And K-May, that's what they called him when they lifted his jersey into the rafters.
Retired his number
Yeah. So we
because of this upcoming game.
yeah. So we're playing on the
This is what brought him
blacktop.
to glory.
This dual sex basketball game.
Yeah, we're playing on the blacktop, and it's a pretty close game for the most part. Like I wasn't that good at basketball, but I was still trying really hard. And me and K-May were the two most competent players on the asphalt. And so we're going back and forth. He's driving on me, I'm driving on him. I score, I miss a bucket. He misses a bucket, he scores. It was very back and forth. And
Triple doubles both ways.
we both had
They both had 20s.
we both had quadruple triples.
They both had 20 games.
Think about the logistics of a
100
quadruple triple.
110 rebounds.
If there was any time it was going to happen, it
In
would
one
be,
lunch
it would
period.
Be in a fucking high school.
It's a 2-hour
blacktop
class,
game.
okay?
They
So
had a 5x5.
amidst all this sweating, it was a balmy day. It was a little warm outside. Amidst all this sweating and hooting and hollering on the battlefield that was the blacktop.
That was our school.
I start to feel a little churning going on in Old Tum Tum down there.
I know how that feels.
And it starts making some E40 noises.
E40.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's stop.
Like that's weird. Why did it say that?
I wish it.
Sorry.
I wish it told me when to go. So I kind of ignore it. I start to feel a little pressure going on down there,
As the cool
and
kids call it. Some fresh.
so there was one fateful play. I'll remember it as long as I live. K-May shot the ball. I boxed him out. I went up for the rebound. He ran from behind me, and he went up. He got the rebound over me because that fool could fucking jump. And he landed sort of in front of me and just came down, elbows swinging like a madman. And he caught me right in the cheekbone. And at this moment, it's just in a shockwave through my body. And that happened while I was sort of landing. So when he made contact, my toes were on the ground. By the time my heels had hit the ground, there was a little nug in my undies. And I came down and the heat of battle, all the adrenaline was gone in an instant. It had disappeared. I landed. I felt.
You settled for the quadruple double.
Yeah,
Look
I
at
could
there.
have gotten.
Can't go any further.
I only had 99 assists. No, that would imply somebody else on my team could shoot, and they fucking couldn't. I had 99 steals.
Goth girl couldn't finish it
No,
all.
she couldn't. She could not finish.
Promise.
Believe me on that. So yeah, I felt myself come down a little heavier than I went up, and immediately, everybody else ran to the back, and I stood there for a good 5 seconds. I was like, "Oh my god, what do I do? Oh fuck, what do I do?" And I'm wearing gym shorts, and luckily Brock's are brief, so I don't think anything could roll out.
I was gonna ask if it stayed in.
Yeah, no, it stayed in.
It just rolls out of the.
Hey,
I don't know who did that.
and so I sit
Kevin
there.
booped everybody.
Ew, Kevin!
And then they took his jersey down from the rafters.
Oh, well, we don't need that there.
That's gross.
That's for
yeah, so-
non-poopers.
So I waddled to the bathroom. I tried to scrape it out of my underwear, but it was a little too viscous for that. So I
So was this a nug or was this like a little mashed potato?
it was like a mashed potato. Little mashed potato nuggie. But
rough.
more like after a bunch of butter is in the mashed potatoes. You know what I mean?
Okay, so that's
Steaming.
Not not like not like a fluffy masher.
Fluffy man.
More
laid on a
or no,
masher.
not like like a fluffy nuggie masher, where it's like you have to bite it. It's more like if you were to squish it in your mouth, it would just dissipate. My poop. Think
so it was kind of dry. It was kind of dry.
think about that. No, it wasn't dry, is what I'm saying. It was very buttery, like country crock style. So I waddled the bathroom, attempt to scrape it out. Didn't work, so I threw my undies away. luckily by that time, I took my time in the bathroom. Wisely was the name of the teacher, not Swayze. Wisely. I think. I don't know.
So did the game?
Wesley.
I don't know what happened. I don't know if we won or
I
lost.
was gonna say like you snuck away and they kept playing a man
All we
down.
know
They
is
didn't
just they
notice.
hung
Yeah,
Kevin
I gotta go to the
Mayo's
bathroom.
jersey.
I gotta go.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, I was like, go to the bathroom. And I waddled away slowly.
Oh no!
There he goes, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so then I walked and I wore jeans that day. So I had no backup undies because like we didn't shower at my school. And even if we did, I wouldn't have been comfortable.
Yeah.
That idea has always been foreign to me, showering with other people around.
Little boys.
Other little boys with their supple bodies. I couldn't deal.
No.
So I walked around
Lawsuit.
just wee chafing on the zipper all day. And that was a bad day.
Were you clean? Like, did you get it cleaned up enough?
Yeah. I got a bunch of paper towels and got them wet.
Wait, what'd you do with the underwear? You just
I
threw it
threw
away?
them in the trash.
So you might as well just use the clean parts to just keep going. Keep cleaning.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Put him in his locker.
Why did somebody do this?
Yeah, so that's my story. When I put my pants in PE and then chafed my wee all day afterwards. I had a whole nother. I had lunch and then another.
Should have been uncircumcised, dude.
You're right. Then I could have gotten caught in the zipper.
No, it just would have had an extra barrier.
Ben, you got a story?
I do. This one's a good one.
Okay, let's go.
Sit down, ladies and gentlemen.
Ben was just on the other team. He also pooped his pants.
So I was actually Kevin Mayer.
You're K-May?
So when I went up for the thing, I jumped too hard, and it came out, and I was just, no! Like that.
And then you just kept playing, though.
Well, why wouldn't I? Only quitters quit.
Regardless of their poop pants situation.
Yeah, I'm not a quitter. So this one's great. This one's about me being a little thief. So
Cool.
when I was about 8, I want to say 7 or 8, I had some neighbors that lived in front of me, and they were cool. I would go hang out there all the time, play video games and shit. But I never had Pikmin. Pikmin had just came out.
GameCube or?
GameCube.
Yeah.
Pikmin had just came out like a month or so earlier, and all I wanted to do was fucking have Pikmin, but I didn't want to ask for it because I didn't know it was good or not, and I just really wanted to play Pikmin. That was it. They had Pikmin, so I'd play Pikmin over there sometimes.
Can I spoil something for you? It was pretty good.
Okay, that's fine. I don't care about it now.
Okay.
I don't ever want to see Pikmin again. I always wanted to play Pikmin, and I would play it over there, and I just thought to myself one day, like they went. I think I was after a sleepover. I was gonna go home.
What's his name?
I'm not gonna say.
Okay.
So
Can you make up a name?
no, it's not
Jeff.
important.
His name's Jeff.
Yeah.
Name of Jeff.
His name is Jeff. So Jeff was not in the room, and I was gonna head home from the sleepover, and I was like, I don't think he'll notice. I mean, he hasn't played Pikmin in like a week or so. I'm just gonna take it. I'm not gonna take the case. I'm just gonna take the disc, and that way they'll just think that they misplaced it somewhere in the room. I'll play it for a week, and I'll bring it back, and no one will be the wiser.
That's a good plan.
So I took the disc and put it in my pocket, and I went home, and I played
How
it.
big were your pockets when you were 8?
Well, the
the
GameCube
GameCube
discs
discs
are
are-
like tiny little
I forgot
donuts.
it was GameCube.
So it was easy. It ain't no PlayStation 2 disc. I wouldn't have got away with it. I'd have to break it in half, put it in my thing, then cry because I broke it. No, so I brought it home, started playing that day.
How was it for you?
I played it for like an hour.
Did the thrill of theft add to the gaming experience?
Nope, didn't even cross my mind. I was like, I'm playing this, I'm happy.
It's mine now.
No,
I
I was
bought this.
only
I
gonna
always
hold on.
had this.
I was only going to hold on to it for a couple days, maybe a week, and I was going to return it. Just by placing it in the room somewhere. But I played it for like an hour, and then my mom came downstairs and was like, what's this? I'm like, this is a game I've had. She's like, no, I've never seen you play this. What is this? I'm like, it's called Pikmin. And she's like, you don't own this, do you?
This is Jeff's.
No, she's like, you don't own this. Where'd you get it? And I was like, I borrowed it from Jeff. And she's like, well, I don't think you actually did. I think you took it, and you're going to have to go back there and apologize.
How do moms just know? They always just fucking know.
I think they always know. And
They
I don't know
just
I don't know
do.
if it's we were just terrible liars when we were kids,
I don't
because that could
know.
easily
No,
be the
that
case.
can't be it.
But they know. It's true. They always know. She always knew when I lied. So I was like, do I really have to go? And she's like, yes, you're going to have to go there, ring the doorbell, present them the thing you stole, and apologize for stealing it. I'm like, I can't fucking do
That's
that.
a good mom punishment.
I'm like, I can't fucking do that. They'll never forgive me. They'll never hang out with me again. So I'm like, okay, I'm going. You see me? I have it. I'm going to return it and apologize. So I walked across the street. I walked up to the steps, and I'm like, I can't fucking do this. I can't fucking do
She
this.
didn't go with you?
No, she's like, I don't know why. She should have, because this is where it gets good. She's like, or no, I got there and I was just like, I can't fucking do this. There's no way. They'll never let me hang out with them again. And I looked to the right of their door. There was a potted plant. And I thought, I'll just drop it in there. They'll think they in my child bride. I'm like, they'll think they misplaced it here. Who cares? They won't know what happened.
Stupid ass Jeff.
They're not going to know what happened. So I just dropped it in the pot and then walked home. And I was like, yep, I apologized. Yeah, totally. And she's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I don't have it anymore. You can check my pockets. I don't have it. They have it now. And she's like, oh, I guess they took it. And I don't think they never asked me about it. I don't know if they ever suspected that I took the disc.
Do you think they knew?
I honestly have
Did
no
they get
idea.
it back? Like, did you see them?
Did you ever see him play it again?
Yeah.
Or?
I do not remember because, like I said, I erased this from my brain. All I remember is thinking recently how hilarious that must have been that they got home one day and we're going up to the house and there was just their Pikmin game was in a potted plant.
Oh, that's where I
You
left
know,
it.
it's probably great is at some block party in a future time or whatever. Your mom's like, oh, remember that one time Benny stole Jeff's Pikmin? And they're like, what the fuck? I like to imagine that happened.
No, they moved away. I don't know where they are now. Yeah, so I think it was pretty.
Moral of the
hilarious.
story?
Moral of the story.
Always steal Pikmin.
Moral of the story is your mom will always find
Is
out.
Yeah.
GameCube games were small.
Small enough to fit in
small
your
enough
That was
steal.
really convenient.
Some games were 2 disc. Pikmin was all in one. So all you got to do is steal 1 disc and you're good. And that's it.
All right, well, that's all the time we have, and a little extra, actually, for Fortuitous Time with Modern Wild. Thanks for tuning in, and stay productive, America.
I hope
That's
you
my
Stay
tagline.
fortuitous.
Stay fortuitous. Fortuit yourself.
Hopefully we'll see you next time.
Yeah, a couple of weeks, we'll probably do another one of these. So, yep, have a good one. Bye.
Cut it. Cut it.
What?
No, cut this. Cut it. Cut it. Wait, what? No. What is he saying?
Hey, turn it off.